budget bets. Here's how we did last week. Welcome back, low rollers, to Low Budget Bets for Week 8. I'm Ray.
And I'm back from Vegas, Dean.
And let's see if we can go 2 weeks in a row with some winners.
Woohoo! All right, we got game number 1, Minnesota -1 at Chicago. Ray, break it down for us.
Well, Chicago's defense has no one left on the roster that can stop Adrian Peterson. The Vikings' defense is tied for second in the league in points allowed. Jay Cutler's diabetes will be kicking in hard after a bye week of beers and brownies. You put all that together, the Vikings will cover that 1 whole point.
They will indeed.
Game number 2, we got the San Francisco 49ers traveling to St. Louis to face the Rams, who are 8.5-point favorites. What do you think about that, Dean?
Well, Ray, let me break this down for you. San Francisco's offense and St. Louis's defense should keep the game pretty low scoring. In fact, the over-under on the game is the lowest of the year at 39.5 points. Nick Foles and company for the Rams won't score enough points to blow out a divisional opponent, even if it is the struggling 49ers. We like the 49ers to keep this one close. Take San Francisco and the 8.5 points. All right, moving on to game number 3, we've got the Arizona Cardinals, 4.5-point favorites, at Ray's Cleveland Browns. Ray, what do we got?
Well, I want to slow it down a little bit and we'll get serious.
Get serious.
Just like last week, the Browns still suck. Their choices at QB are 1, a 36-year-old journeyman who hasn't held a starting job anywhere except for the Hartford Colonials of the UFL.
Go Colonials.
Or 2, a kid who just spent most of his offseason in rehab for alcohol abuse that just got pulled over a few weeks ago after having some drinks and then bouncing his girlfriend's head off of a car window. Much like good old Bernie Kosar bounces bad checks. All this drama in Cleveland leads us to believe that if bringing Bernie Kosar out of retirement isn't an option, maybe you got Tim Tebow available to bounce some passes around Cleveland Stadium, God willing. Arizona has enough weapons on both sides of the ball to beat up on the lowly Browns. Arizona's going to cover that 4.5 points. Next game, we got the New York Jets, who are 2-point favorites on the road, traveling to Oakland. What do you got?
I say Oakland's defense doesn't have enough playmakers to stop Brandon Marshall, Chris Ivory, and the bearded Harvard alumnus Ryan Fitzpatrick. Note to Andrew Luck, that's how a beard is supposed to be maintained.
Good beard. Oh my.
Notice no snot or lunch leftovers hanging around for all of the viewing audience to see. Meanwhile, the Jets' defense certainly does have enough playmakers, with Darrelle Revis and company certainly have enough to shut down Amari Cooper and the Oakland Raiders. The Jets will cover the 2 points. All right, moving on to game number 5, we have the Seattle Seahawks, who are 6-point favorites, going down to the Dallas Cowboys. Ray, how about them Cowboys?
Well, Matt Castle was not the savior. Yes, another Tim Tebow joke coming there. 79-year-old Brandon Weeden has not improved like a fine wine with age.
Very stinky.
Yes. And with the way injuries are mounting in Big D, the next slew of injuries will probably come from a mentally unstable Greg Hardy snapping and murdering the rest of his teammates in a rampage that will make him an honorary member of the United States Postal Service. Seattle has also reached a point in the season where they know it's time to get serious. They got to try to keep pace with the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
If they want to make it to a third straight Super Bowl, they have enough on both sides of the ball to keep this one from ever being close. Seattle comfortably covers the 6 points. All right, game number 6, last game of the week. Green Bay Packers, 3-point favorites, traveling to Denver to face the Broncos. What do you think about that one there?
Well, we've got 2 6-0 teams, and Denver is not a very good 6-0 team. Peyton Manning's throws are starting to resemble
Tim Tebow?
Yes, you guessed it, Tim Tebow. The Broncos' defense is certainly top-notch, but certainly not anything Aaron Rodgers isn't ready for or won't have success against. The Packers will cover the 3 points. All right, thanks for joining us this week for Low Budget Bets. We'd like to thank Tim Tebow, Jake Cutler, and of course Andrew Luck's beard for being bad, diabetic, and disgusting, respectively. I'm Dean.
I'm Ray.
And we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel for week 9 of Low Budget Bets.
Bye-bye.
Bye.